Good evening, everyone. I'm Black Shadow. Thank you all very much for joining me for this update video. When a person tells you that they're about to do a update video several days before they actually do it, generally means there's something to it. Today is Friday, 27th of July. It is currently 9:27 PM. No, this is not Big Brother. This is my July update, folks. It's been a very, very crazy week. The reason for this is for those of you who have been following me over the past few months and that. Some of you will know that since April I have been, basically back in April that I had to leave the house I've been living in for 18 years of my life. Since then, I've been having to stay at my sister's for a few months, as sort of somewhere temporary, until I could find somewhere of my own. And basically, what's happening is, I've done a lot, obviously chasing around that sort of thing, and got a call Monday to view somewhere I'd first applied to go to about 2 months ago, and we started chasing them up, and finally they actually said something. Really, we went there on Wednesday to view the place. It's not too bad a place. It needs a good scrub and a bit of work, but it'll come off all right. Just needs a bit of work from the last people who'd been living there. And we went on Wednesday, and we said that it was pretty. I quite liked it, for what it was. And he basically got the sort of the thumbs up, that sort of thing. And we asked, when do we come in to sign the paperwork, to do all that sort of thing, because generally, you get about a week's notice, that sort of thing. And the guy says, "I'll come in on Friday to sign the paperwork, and we'll give you the keys," which has resulted in one of the biggest scrambles to form a house that I've ever known in my life. I have spent literally the past 2 days running around doing everything. I have had zero free time. I've basically not had to sit down for 2 days, which has knackered the hell out of me. And it's a bit of relief that I managed to actually, when I did recording a little about, must have been back on Monday, I think it was, or maybe Tuesday, that I decided to do a few extra videos. That was obviously quite a well-informed decision, because obviously they were the last 2 that have come up. And the reason I'm telling you this, folks, is because now I'm having to move my own place and setting everything up. I do have an issue as far as my recordings are concerned, because I will not have any internet access for now. This is a grave issue. I'll still have my PC with me, obviously, and I'll still have the ability to record Let's Play series, but I won't have the ability to record, to upload them even. Luckily, and very gratefully, King Shocker 92, who you may remember from such Let's Plays as Let's Play Abe's Odyssey and Let's Play Together, Super Mario Bros. 3, he has offered to help me with that, folks. And basically, he's offered that if I can, if I record the videos and I said if I write the descriptions up and all that sort of thing, and I give them to him, he said that he will upload them for me, which is I'm very, very grateful for. Of course, there's still the issue that I'm basically not going to have internet access, folks. It's being a bit fiddly because we're not 100% sure which provider is actually in possession of the line. We phoned up British Telecoms, and they came and said, "Oh yeah, we know that's your there's a line. We know it's working, which is good. We just don't know whose it is." I basically need to figure out who on earth is owning the line, or pay well over £100 to get it changed when we don't know. So that is being a bit fiddly. I've got a good friend of mine is going with me and my dad to the place tomorrow, also to sort out stuff like satellite dish, that sort of thing. And I'm hoping that if things go reasonably according to plan, I will have my own internet access up and running in about 2 weeks from now. So that would be Friday the about the 10th, isn't it? I'm looking, yeah, about 2 Fridays from now, I'm thinking, but of course, don't hold me to that, because I really don't know. So that's not ideal. I still have some internet access. Where I am, there is a communal internet facility, which I can use, so I can still respond to, comments or anything on Twitter or that sort of thing. Just don't expect to be with any sort of regularity. It'll be maybe once a day, if that. Maybe sort of afternoon here, which people in the States is going to be about like 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. It's about the only time I'm going to have a chance to respond to any emails, if that, regularly. And sadly, it's just going to be like that for a couple of weeks, and obviously I do apologise, but, it was always going to happen. It was just a matter of when. Finally, it's actually getting along, and as I said, I'll still be able to do LPs. Speaking about on the LP subject, before I move on to the other big thing of this update video, someone asked me on my last medieval video, part, whatever the heck that is, I forget now, 27 I think, and they asked me if, they've obviously watched Medieval 1 and they've enjoyed it, so cheers for watching, if you're listening to this, which I hope you are. And they asked if, my voice goes a bit funny. That's done the trick. Sorry about that. And they asked me if I was going to be doing Medieval 2. Now, to let you guys in a little something, that remember back to when I did Zelda 2, and I said no, and before that, actually, end of Resident Evil 3, I said I was going to do a game of 2 in it. To be honest, I was torn between doing Zelda 2 and Medieval 2. I really wasn't sure which one I wanted to do. I eventually went and did Zelda 2 because I did, and partially because I thought I had a copy of Medieval 2 on me, but I don't. Finding a ROM of Medieval 2 is a bit fiddly, quite awkward, and I think I might have to actually get a CD of that, unless I can miraculously stumble upon something that I can use properly. I could have sworn I had it, but I think it's probably back, I'd say where it is, folks. I think it's probably back at the house, which I still don't have access to. I probably will be able to go in there one day, and I'll be able to have a bit of a look at it again. But I might be there, but I don't really know. So that'll be that. As for after that, folks, that leads me on to the next part of this update video, which is a lot more cheerful and good news. Basically, obviously some of you all know that 6 days ago was my birthday. Hurrah! In a way, it hasn't felt a huge amount like a birthday, but just the way it's been. And I'm sort of notoriously difficult for not knowing what kind of birthday present I want for sometimes. But this year was quite easy because I figured, judging everything, what would be a better thing for me to get than a capture card for the PC? For those of you who do not know what a capture card is, it's basically it's a device that you can use to record stuff. Something, and there's varying types of DVDs, that sort of thing you can get. But I'm obviously not there because obviously I do video games sort of thing. Basically, what you do with a capture card is you get your little fancy gizmo, whichever one you get. There's a variety out there. A couple more I would recommend more than others. And what you do is if you get like a games console, it depends what you get. If you get a composite or a HD, you get your console, and if you sort of wire that to your little fancy capture card gizmo, and then you then connect that up to a computer. And also, you might want to send a side lead off TV so you can see what you're doing. What it basically allows you to do is it allows you to basically play a game on a console, and allows the computer to record it. Now, I think there's two big advantages to this, folks. First of all, that it allows your PC to do a hell of a lot more, because when you're sort of emulating and you're doing on a PC, for example, your PC is busy recording the stuff, but it also has to actually play the game. Which, if you're doing like a NES game, that's not so bad. But if you're doing, say, Resident Evil 4, it's not going to be able to do that unless you've got a really, really good PC. And I know there's people who do their LPs that have been LPing for like several years now, and they have been able to get hold of that really good equipment, and I'll be there one day, if I'm still going, which I probably will. I hope I am. And, and basically what this really allows you to do is, because I've been, recording like PS1 stuff, and even when I did Resident Evil 3, I talked about that I'd sort of been hitting the ceiling that that my current PC could do. It was really, I couldn't have it running at full spec. It was just a little bit too much for it. What this basically allows me to do is that I can basically connect, not only that, but I can also move on, that sort of PlayStation 1 sort of thing, but I can also move on to the next generation of consoles, so like PS2, maybe original Xbox, perhaps. I'll have to have a bit of a look at that, I don't really know. But maybe sort of like the PS2, because obviously that's what I was brought up with, and that kind of thing, maybe Dreamcast, Nintendo GameCube, that sort of generation, it was, 2D was really starting to come along leaps and bounds from, when it first turned up on the PS1 and sort of thing. Which is really handy because you'll note that one of the game consoles that I just said was the Nintendo GameCube, because of course PS2 means I can do something like later Grand Theft Autos, Grand Theft Auto 3 and onwards. I've still got a lot of them. Vice City, San Andreas I've still got. My dad's got Grand Theft Auto 3. I've told him not to throw it, otherwise I'll kill him. And obviously, the more Resident Evils, Resident Evil 4 I mentioned, Code Veronica. I know there's a HD version of that, and obviously Resident Evil 4 on like the pre-60s and the PS3s, but I don't have the capability of doing that, but it's just as fine. And obviously the Outbreak series, which are still, personally, probably some of my favourite PlayStation 2 games of all time. But with the GameCube, it means that after about 6 months since I originally announced it, I can finally say I have the equipment I need to record Resident Evil Remake. Who bleeping rah? It has been a ridiculous joke. It's not been as bad as Duke Nukem Forever mods. I didn't announce my game in the Nixon era, but hey. Was it Nixon or was it the Kennedy administration? I know it wasn't Kennedy. Who was in there? Was it the Bush? The like George Bush Senior? Or was it? No, it was Clinton. Yeah, it was Bill Clinton. I believe it was when I first announced it. So I'm diverging here. But I can finally say that because I have the equipment, I bought it brand new. Although when it comes to me, that never seems to matter. If it wants to stop working, it decides to stop working. And the way I'm hoping things will go is that I'll be able to do Zelda 2. And then because I want to be able to record Medieval 2 next. Again, I need to get a copy of the game. But King Striker, I know, and I already asked, and he has said I could, because he still has a Nintendo GameCube and all that sort of thing. So he's he's already said I can allow to to borrow that, and that I can then hook that up, where I am, and I will finally be able to blindly play Resident Evil Remake after first announcing it back in February or something stupid. So that is really a relief. I'm glad that I can, finally announce that it is now coming. There's probably, I think, well, why not just do it straight away? I've been waiting that long, but I want to do Medieval 2. It's a good game. I do enjoy it. I think maybe in a couple ways I prefer the original Medieval, but the second one's got its own charm to it as well. I think it's quite a good game as well. It's got some good levels. It's got some annoying levels. It's got some deeply frustrating levels, but hey, it's got some good levels. So yeah, so that is that. So I have that, so that is really good. Other than that, I believe that's about it, folks, really. The next video, or the rest of the videos for Zelda 2, I don't think are going to be up until maybe Sunday or Monday. I would err on the side of Monday, but it depends a little what happens. I should have time to record it in the weekend, I would think. But hey, it's a bit varied. It's a bit varied at the moment. Obviously it's hard to predict that kind of thing, but we'll see how we go along, folks. But I'm going to call that a video because we're just coming up to the 15-minute mark, and I don't really want an update video to go longer than that. It's gone long enough as it is, folks. I'm sure you're tired of hearing me. But I would thank you again for listening to this update video. It's this will be up on for a couple of days before the next one comes out. So I'm pretty sure most people, if not everyone, will be able to listen to this to know what's going on. But thank you all very, very much for listening. You know, I really do appreciate it. You know, as well as you know, all the views and subscribers I get. You know, I appreciate everyone. I may not go onto channel comments. Perhaps you know people say you know thank you, but believe me, I sure as hell am grateful for all the support that you show me. I am as grateful as hell for it. Believe me. You know, and as I say, you know, if you guys weren't watching, I wouldn't be recording and uploading, would I? You know, and it's I just find it ironic, really, because I think no, Resident Evil 3 went down, I think, really well, and things are just starting, you know, picking up again, just like they were sort of picking up before I had to leave the first time, and they've started picking up again, making up for that shortfall, and of course now it's going to be a bit funny. It won't be as bad as last time, but hey, you know, it's going to be a bit varied, really, folks. But you know, just don't expect uploading to be that consistent, but it should be up, you know, one a video, and if it's not, then I'll start asking my own questions. No, I don't mean it. But anyways, folks, so that is going to be it, because I've managed to stretch out for another minute, which I seem so good at doing. So thank you all very much for moving. For moving? You're not moving. I'm moving. I'm the one that's moving. You know, if you're moving, best of luck to you. Thank you all very much for listening. I know, I do appreciate it. And you will probably hear from me next either Sunday or Monday, depending on what happens, folks. Probably Monday, I'm thinking, but we'll see how we go, folks. So thank you all very much, and I shall hear from you, or you shall hear from me in a few days. So wish me luck, and take care of yourselves, folks. I'll see you around.